Thank you for finding the time.
I will admit, it's not entirely unpleasant seeing you again.
Welcome to Real Rumble, the show where you get all your latest previews, reviews, movie buzz, and an occasional rant or two. This one is not a rant video, but I want to talk about Daredevil Born Again. Yes, Daredevil Born Again, again, I guess. Yes, well, when you hear what I have to tell you, you know why I say again. But Daredevil Born Again is coming soon, I think in March. I'm not sure when now on Disney Plus. I'm going to have to check that up. But the trailer dropped and had all sorts of reactions. Some good ones, some bad ones. But let me say I actually did like what I saw from the Daredevil Born Again trailer. Daredevil Born Again will be released, of course, on Disney Plus, and guess what? They've even greenlit a second season. I think it's gonna the filming for that one is gonna begin in March this year, and I'm not sure when this one. Well, it's coming up in March. March 4th is when Daredevil Born Again is gonna drop on Disney Plus, and it's also in the month of March. They're gonna start shooting the second season for Daredevil. So, what's the good stuff about this one? Well, if you look, the trailer basically starts with some action scenes, and then it starts with an interesting conversation between Matt Murdock, Daredevil, and Wilson Fisk, who is the Kingpin, who apparently from this new trailer seems to be the mayor of New York. Well, things do happen, don't they? Anyway, but what I noticed about the trailer is the tone. Now, where we saw Daredevil, we've seen Wilson Fisk himself first in Hawkeye, I think, and also in Echo. Terrible series. I hated that series, but he was there and he looked pretty lame. No disrespect to the new Hawkeye and Echo herself, but man, this is Wilson Fisk, and the way he was taken down did him no favors as a villain. And this is one of the best villains in the Netflix universe. I'll say some people say he's a better villain than Kilgrave, but I think Kilgrave is actually a bit more scary than Kingpin. Yes, Kingpin is big, larger than life, really brutal, but a guy who could just tell you to walk off a balcony, well, that's scary. But going back to it, I digress. Fisk has appeared on Disney Plus shows. He's been a bit tame, and Daredevil has also appeared, I think, in Echo briefly, and also in that really terrible cameo in She-Hulk. And terrible not because Daredevil is a terrible character, but because She-Hulk generally was a terrible series. But now I'm seeing a bit of that gritty Netflix, Marvel Studios thing in this Daredevil Born Again trailer. And I think that's what's got a lot of people excited, apart from the fact that we've seen a whole lot of more familiar faces. Also, we had reports, I think sometime last year, that the original iteration of Daredevil Born Again had not been shelved, but they had done a whole creative overhaul, because originally this particular series was supposed to have 18 episodes, and we're not going to get to see Matt Murdock suit up until the 4th episode. That's crazy. I mean, he's already Daredevil, so it's not like this is some kind of origin story. So I think maybe that didn't do well with the screening, so they had to really overhaul everything. So I'm just going to read some stuff from some articles here that talks about it. It's of course, first of all, the series tagline, the series name Born Again is from the comic book storyline by Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli. So there's that. Now, originally, this the head writers, because Marvel was still doing head writers for their Disney Plus shows instead of showrunners, they were what's their name now? Sorry, help me here. Matt Corman and Chris Ord. But I think with the creative overhaul, they were basically kicked out, and Dario Scotapani was put in place. So let me take a little bit about that, because the development for this show has been in the works since 2022. But like I said, there was this original plan for it that made it more serial. So 18 episodes for it instead of maybe a regular 8 or 10 as we would see in the Netflix series back then. You remember, of course, Daredevil already had a 3-season run on Netflix when the Marvel Studios was still producing some Netflix series like Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Luke Cage, and of course The Defender. So there is that. Okay, let me just read this out here. Hold up. Okay, so I'm trying to look for where to start from because there is a whole lot attached to this. So, okay, Charlie Cox, of course, had discussed the potential series earlier, and Cox, of course, was hopeful that a new series could have a more faithful adaptation of the Born Again storyline, like I mentioned, from Miller and Mazzucchelli, than the original series had taken inspiration from that storyline for its third season. So, yes, the third season of the Netflix version of Daredevil actually followed the Born Again storyline, but it wasn't as faithful to it as Cox is hoping this one will be. He described the storyline as a kind of a PG comic and a guide for how the series could work with that rating. So there's that. So Daredevil reboot was reported later in March 2022. And of course, that's when Corman and Ord were attached as head writers and executive producers. So according to Hollywood Reporter, it was the first of the Marvel Netflix series to get a new but continued series, later stating that it would technically be its fourth season. And that was not, I don't think that was the original plan from what it seems, but now it seems like this Daredevil Born Again could actually be a continuation of season 3 of the Netflix Daredevil. So it was announced and it was supposed to be an 18-episode series. They called it a huge undertaking at that point. But the creative overhaul, I think, happened after 6 of the 18 episodes of the series had been filmed. So Marvel Studios decided to overhaul the series with a new creative direction. Corman and Ord were let go as head writers and the directors for the remainder of the series as well. So the studio then began searching for new writers and directors. The Hollywood Reporter stated that Marvel Studio executives had reviewed the footage so far and realized that Born Again wasn't working at that point. So Corman and Ord's episodic take on the series was said to be a large divergence from the Netflix version, including that Cox did not appear in costume as Daredevil until the 4th episode. That's what I was saying. I mean, you have a Daredevil series, and Disney Plus were about to do that thing again one day, where they kind of make it all about something else other than the title of the series. But thank God for the creative overhaul. Yes, it cost some people their jobs, but thank God for it all the same. So Dario Scardapane, a writer on the Netflix version of Daredevil spin-off series, The Punisher, really great one too, was hired to serve as showrunner for Born Again in October of 2023. So that's when the whole creative thing went on. So now I don't know whether the casting had anything also to do with the creative, because it originally the buzz we were hearing, we weren't sure, or there wasn't any indication really whether we would have some characters coming back. Yes, Wilson Fisk maybe, but the Punisher, I don't know. But what we know, of course, Matt Murdock is, what's his name? Charlie Cox is coming back as Matt Murdock, the Daredevil. Vincent D'Onofrio is going to reprise his role as Kingpin, Wilson Fisk. And also, some of the, what's the word now? The compatriots or the comrades of Daredevil. What's her name now? Karen Page, played by Deborah Ann Wall, will be back. Eldon Henson will also be back to play Frankie Foggy Nelson. And like I said, Punisher is going to be back, of course, played by John Bernthal. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think John Bernthal is the best Punisher ever? I don't know. Just let me know in the comments. And of course, while you're there, just take some time to like this video, share, and please do subscribe. It really helps us out. All right. So what to expect from this series? I am not sure. By way of synopsis, we don't really know too much of what it'll be. All we have is blind lawyer Matt Murdock fights for justice while former crime boss Wilson Fisk pursues his campaign as the mayor of New York City, causing their past identities to collide. So collide in what way? Who knows? We'll have to wait and find out. But one thing to comment on in this particular trailer, which is how I got this started in the first place, is that it seems like a return back to the gritty Daredevil, bones breaking, blood spilling, and all that stuff. How does it play on Disney Plus, and how is it going to really factor into a PG rating? I have no idea. So we'll have to just wait and see how that all turns out. Some other characters are right here in this series, Born Again. We've got Margarita Leveva playing Heather Glenn, who is a love interest for Daredevil, aka Matt Murdock. We've also got Sabrina Guevara playing Sheila Rivera. We've got Nikki M. James, Janaya Walton, R.T. Fruzen, Clark Johnson, Michael Gandolfini, the late James Gandolfini's son, is going to be playing Daniel Blade in this one. Ayelet Zura plays Vanessa Mariana Fisk, who is Wilson Fisk's wife. Now, Sandrine Holt was originally cast to replace Zura, who portrayed the character in Daredevil on Netflix before the series overhaul, but she's back, so she is one of the, should I say, benefits or products of the creative overhaul this series has experienced. And also, of course, like I mentioned, John Bentro returns as Frank Castle, the Punisher. And another return from season 3, we've got Wilson Bethel playing Benjamin Poindexter, aka Bullseye. He still doesn't have a great uniform or costume for his villainy role. So it'll be good to see him back because he was one of the quite interesting things about season 3. We've also got Mohan Kapoor reprising his MCU role as Yusuf Khan. And we've got Camar de los Reyes coming on as Hector Ayala, the White Tiger. Yes, you know the White Tiger if you are a real comic book head from the Marvel series. So that's basically the scoop on Daredevil. So tell me in the comments, what do you think about the trailer? Do you think it's a return to form for Marvel? Do you think this will be at least one Disney Plus Marvel product that people could actually get behind? You let me know what you think in the comments. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share Moviematic right here. Thank you so much. Till the next time on Real Rumble, you take care of yourself and watch yourself a good movie. Peace.